Welcome, everybody. Hello, and thank you for tuning in this week. I really am very grateful for you taking the time out of your day to watch us today. Now, I'm really excited. We've got lots to go through today, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you today about what our topic is, which is all about discipline. So, this is a really exciting time for me in my business. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to organize my notes so I can see those as well, just to refer to from time to time. So, look, wherever you are in the world, whether you're tuning in live or whether you're watching the replay, I'd really appreciate it if you're here to just make some comments for me. Let me know where you are in the world, where you're tuning in from and where you're watching from, and look forward to tuning in with you on a more regular basis. So thanks again, everyone, for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. But before we get too far into today, I really want to touch on a couple of things. Krishna, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, my dear. I'm glad to have you here. And I'm just going to stop and let you know that today's topic is one that I think most people in business find really hard to commit to constantly, and that's discipline. I think we're going to see some interesting things come out of that today. So, look, I really do appreciate the time that you've taken. As I said, welcome everybody. And, today's Unleash Your Inner Self TV show. I'm Donna Ferguson. I'm your host today. Hello, Amanda. Welcome, my dear friend. Good to have you here. So I'm, really grateful that you've taken time out of your day. I know you all got lots on. So like I said, the topic of today is actually going to be discipline. And I know that a lot of people really stretch to be able to create a constant with discipline in their life and in their business. So we're just going to touch on, first of all, a couple of things. A question really is, what is it that you want to change to create more in your life and in your business, and so that you can reclaim your true identity? Now, that's really a really big question, and it goes really deep if you really think about it. It's probably not something we're going to delve right into today, but it really is important to start looking at these things because, today is about discipline, and if you don't start looking at the questions that we're going to raise today, then your discipline is really not going to be a consistent part and factor in your life and your business. So earlier I did mention that wherever you're watching from in the world, please let me know. I'd love to see where you're from. This does go global, and I'm really love to connect with those both here in Australia and overseas. And, just let me know with your comments where you're watching from. And, as I said, I look forward to having you tune in every week. But, and there's also, at the end of this, I've got a free gift for you. So please stay till the end. It's really going to be a fantastic gift that you're going to be offered. And you do need to be here at the end to receive that. So, today's topic, as I said, is all about discipline. A couple of questions is, why do you make the choices that don't serve you any longer? So, what's that about? Where do they come from? Is it, part of your fear that you have about, saying no to some people? Are you a people pleaser? That's the next part. Do you constantly please everyone else and forget about yourself? Do you hold any regrets in your life? That's like, how many regrets have you got, if you've got any? I'm sure that, there's maybe not regrets, but disappointments or bad choices. Hello, Miss Phoebe. Welcome, my dear. Good to have you here. So, yeah, it is about, where your life has come from and where you are at the moment. but we're going to touch on so many things today. So I really, it's really important that we do look at all the information here. So, one big question that I would have for you as well is, to be able to reclaim your true identity back. Did you realize that it's never too late to actually change? So many people say, oh, but I'm 60, I can't do this, my life's almost over. Well, with that attitude, yes, of course, it's going to be almost over. What I would say to you is some people have an opportunity at a very early age to start their journey. They might be 20, they might be 25, and they tune into a journey of self-belief, self-worth, dreams and goals and aspirations that they have in life, and have been conditioned to be able to go out and achieve anything they want. Me, myself, my journey didn't start until I was 40, 45. I touched on it a little bit at age 40. 45 before I really got into the crux of what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And, at 60, nearly 61, I'm here still making changes to the dreams and aspirations that I want in life, because that changes as you achieve one goal. There's always another goal to achieve. So never, ever too late to start changing direction, change your habits, change your dream, to change your whole life. It's absolutely possible. So, just bear that in mind and understand that, last week we talked about the 3 C's. So we had, chance, choice, and change. And today we're possibly going to be tapping into that a little bit deeper today with, the discipline side of things, because it's important to have that. So, that's really great. I would say that, discipline is consistency and persistence, to never give up. If you're that question I asked at the beginning, what is it that you're willing to change, and what is it that you want to change to create more and reclaim your true identity? That's so important, and I really do believe that there are some things that we've grown up through our journey and through our life experience that actually have held us back from claiming who we truly are. And it does take discipline, and it takes sometimes a lot of money, and sometimes it takes a lot of time. So no matter what happens, I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's not. You do have to work at it. You do have to commit to it. You do have to apply, some rules and regulations around your life to be able to claim who you truly are. I asked earlier, are you a people pleaser? It's not about other people. It's about your journey, and they're not all going to understand that. So for me, it's really important that you do look after where your journey is headed in order to be able to claim that true identity. And, sometimes, yes, it's going to cost you some money. Sometimes, it will take a lot of time and commitment and persistence and consistency to be able to do that. It's not just a one thing that you do once and it's going to create stuff. You have to be consistent, and you have to persist with continually putting yourself out there. And it's not always easy. So I'm not going to tell you that it's an easy ride. It's not. I know myself, there's been times previously, years ago, where I was ready to give everything up until I actually did, came across somebody who offered me an opportunity that I took up, and it really did change the whole way and the perspective of, how I looked at my life, how I looked at my past life, how I looked at being able to move forward and create more in my life and claim my true identity back. So that was quite a few years ago. And, I'm so grateful for having that opportunity, because sometimes that's what it takes. You almost have to give up to be able to start. How many of you might be in business and, have made a simple mistake of growing too fast, too quickly, and not preparing yourself, your business name, your brand, whatever it is that you know, has caused some issues for you. It's really important that you do really understand you know, how to go about that. I've got people popping in and out. Sorry, I'm just trying to see who's coming and going. But, you know, it's a big mistake that you can make. And I've learnt the hard way. I've spent loads of money, lots of time, lots of stress that I probably didn't need to go through. And it's really, really important that you do understand that there's a process in being able to do it. And a big part of that is consistency and persisting with doing things multiple times to create whatever it is that you're looking at creating. So bear that in mind. It is a really, really big lesson, and you can save a lot of time and energy by understanding that to start with. You know, I'm a little bit not selfish, but I'm very, when I start something, I have a vision and I find a purpose to move forward in a different direction. I want it now, and I don't have the patience. And I've had to learn that it takes time, and it takes, you know, a little bit of money, and it takes a little bit of, you know, consistency and persistency, and a little bit of sleep deprivation. Hey, you know, what can I say? It's not always about, you know, you've got to give up something to make a change and to make something work. And, you know, we all make sacrifices. So, you know, a bit of sleep here and there, you know, I can manage that perfectly fine. That's not a problem. So, you know, it's important to understand those factors before you actually take the leap. So, you know, I know, as I said, I've been through some, you know, frustrating times because I have tried to move too big too quick, and it doesn't always work. So, you know, gone are those days, let me say, where I've spent too much money and, you know, too much time, and, you know, it was all too hard to let go of because I'd already, you know, put so much into it, and I was caught up in the moment and I didn't want to let go of it. But, you know, it's about learning the lessons, which, you know, I've done, and disciplining myself so that I am able to understand more, so I can grow and I can undertake more and be more true to myself. So, you know, if that makes sense, you know, I thank you all for, you know, understanding that. And if I can help you in any way, that would be amazing. And, you know, I don't want you to make those mistakes in the early days, the same mistakes that I've made. And if I can help you through that, I'm more than happy to do that. So just remember that you're not alone. There's always somebody. Sometimes, you know, you have to source somebody who can facilitate that detail for you and take away the costly mistakes and errors in order for you to be able to move forward and really appreciate where you're at and what you're doing. So, you know, it's all the little things. You know, sometimes it's just a little step each day that you take. Now, you think of it like this. If you were to take one step each day in order to create your purpose and your passion, then you are 7 steps ahead of your competitors at the end of the week. So 7 steps in a week, you know, that is really quite a big change that you can make. And it will make changes. You will see the changes come through. But you have to discipline yourself to do that and work out what your plan is, what direction you want to take, and what those action steps are going to be. So important. You know, major question again, it's, you know, this one hurts so much when you talk to people and you feel you get their feedback. What is the real problem? You know, sometimes it's lack of clarity. That's me, because I go like a bull at a gate. So I don't always clearly work out what I need to do. I just know what the end vision is. I know what I want. I know where I want to be. I know not necessarily all the steps in between that I need to take to get there. And that frustrates sometimes some of my team, because I just know what I want. So, you know, clarity is really important. I've had to learn that as I've gone along the way as well. you know, you sometimes need to take a step back to really reflect on where you want to be. Another question is, do you keep coming up against the same blocks? You know, I'd love to hear your feedback on that. You know, if you can pop some comments in the comment box, I'd love to hear from you. You know, that's a pretty big one. You know, when we're asking what the real problem is. Hello, love Lorraine, lovely to see you here. Thanks for joining us, my dear. So yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, it's why are you coming up against the same things that are restricting you to move forward? And a big part of that is you have no way of knowing how to resolve that. That's quite huge in itself, because wow, you know, if you don't know what you don't know until you actually know what it is, then, you know, you can't move past that. So you have to understand, you have to unleash a little bit more of that inner self to reclaim your true identity, which is what it's all about. And, you know, those blocks are sometimes, it's just somebody you need to facilitate the removal and the release of those blocks for you to move forward. You know, you look back at your life's journey and there's things there that will block you time and time again when you get to a certain level. And so really, really important to look and understand at why that's stopping you and understand how to manage that in the future. You know, a lot of people can go and get things released and they can move forward, and then they come up against something else, you know, another level that they want to go through, and that same block in a different format maybe will come back, but it's still related to the same because they haven't unleashed that inner self and understood why that block's there, what that block is all about, and being able to remove it. So for me, it's really important that I do teach my clients all about that unleashing and understanding, so that they can move forward. And, you know, that block's then able to be controlled. If it does come back, they can look at the reasons why. And that's a massive one for me. You know, part of the real problem is knowing and knowledge, and I can't stress that enough. So, you know, that's really important. And, you know, if you had the key to all of this, wow, you know, you could just live such a beautiful life that you've always dreamed of. So, you know, how would you feel about that? If anybody wants more information about that, please message me, put your comments in, I'll come back to you. You know, I'd love to be able to help you out in some way. As I said, there's a free gift at the end of this show, so this week's show. So I really do, you know, wish that you do take it. It's free, it's not going to cost you anything, so stay tuned to the end for that. You know, and also, you know, not only having the key to all of this, but what if you knew it was all about the choices that you were making, that you actually did choose in a way to stay stuck. So many people don't want to recognize, acknowledge, understand all these reasons. They like to hold on to the drama of it all, I guess you could say. And, you know, it keeps them in a place that's safe, that's comfortable, even though it's not comfortable. They believe that, you know, by moving forward, it's going to be, you know, losing something that they've created. No, you know, that will just create so much more in your life that you truly want. It will change the energy that you have about you, and it will attract more of what you truly want as your true self. So really important to understand that when you continually make these choices, you're choosing to do that. So, you know, take responsibility, be accountable for all of that, and learn and understand how to work through that. I know it all sounds a little bit overwhelming, and, you know, it can be really overwhelming at times, and I get that. I've been there. I've been so overwhelmed I wanted to give it all up. So I know what that's like. And, you know, I truly do feel so blessed that I now have this gift that I can share with women and help them to move forward. You know, but how do you close the gap and find that power within? And how do you really reclaim that true identity back? Want more in your life, then you have to start thinking more. You have to start, tongue-tied. You have to start thinking bigger, dream bigger, you know, visualize more, create that understanding of really what all that looks like and what it really is. You know, it's so important. And, you know, I really do trust that, you know, this is a starting process for you all, because I would, you know, love to see the changes, and I'd love to see the wins that you're having. If you can share those with me during, you know, over time, that would be so good. So, you know, just to see that this has helped some of you, you know, that would be such a gift for me in return for doing what I'm doing. So, you know, start looking for more with the people around you. Who are your influences around you at the moment? You know, who are you saying yes to all the time just to keep the peace, just to please them? You know, what are you giving up yourself in order to do that? No is one of the powerful words that you can start using, because saying no is empowering yourself to be able to start your journey and believe in yourself more. And there is a fear attached to that, but it doesn't matter what other people think about that. It doesn't matter what the person that you're saying no to truly thinks about that. Because at the end of the day, if they are true friends, if they are truly supportive of you and your journey, they will support you and understand why you say no. You know, sometimes you just don't have time to do all this stuff that they want to do. You know, go out with girls on Friday night. Yes, have fun and enjoy it. You know, but doing that week in and week out is creating a comfort with those people, so that, you know, they expect that then from you in the future. But how is that affecting your true purpose and passion in life? How is that affecting the way that you create more in your life? How does that affect the way that you think, you know, the next day or the few days later? And, you know, how does that cloud your judgment when you're out there doing that? And don't get me wrong, I love a night out. I love going out and enjoying myself and celebrating, you know, life and wins and purpose and passion. I love that. But it's not something I do all the time, because my time is better spent and more valuable spent doing what I'm passionate about, creating more for me and my business, and in turn for my family. So, you know, that's massive. And, you know, they're the things that you know, once you overcome the fear of saying no and what the repercussions of that might be, it really doesn't matter what they are to you. So understand that and start empowering yourself to believe in yourself more and create more and become your true self. You've got to be authentic to yourself. And, you know, we're just about getting ready to wrap up, ladies. So if you have any questions, I would love to hear them. I see Lorraine. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Lovely. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's gorgeous. So love Lorraine's just telling me that I'm great, beautiful, and disciplined life, everybody. So, you know, we wish all of that back for you too. Hi, Jess. I see you've just joined us. I'm almost ready. You can go back and watch the replay, my dear. Lovely to have you here, though. I know that you have a lot going on. I did promise you a gift at the end. And so here is my gift for you. I'm just going to pop it in the comments here. So this is a free online training. It won't cost you a cent. Please hook up to the link there and go and check it out. I would love to see you, you know, start growing and taking small action steps, as I said, to be here. Thank you so much. I am so grateful and feel so blessed to be able to share this with you. It does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much. Wherever you are in the world, may you have a beautiful day, night. And, you know, I'm really, like I said, very blessed and thankful that you've been able to come here and watch this today. I look forward to seeing you tune in next week to our next episode of Unleash Your Inner Self and move forward in your life to create more. Bless. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day, all night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you.